How's it going? I'm David Coleman, and I'm a transfer student doing my new student dialogue video. Um, the one I went to was socialization, and the first thing we did was made a chart about our stuff. This is my chart. You got we did race, white. I'm obviously white. Ethnicity is Scotch-Irish. I'm a citizen of the United States. I'm from the United States. I'm 20 years old. I'm a male. Heterosexual. I'm able-bodied. My religion is Christianity. My class is middle class. And my first language is English. We made this chart pretty much to just identify ourselves, to see where we stand. And what we did was we met with another person in the room and compare our list, and from there we could see our differences or similarities, and then we ranked the order of what's most important to us. And I ranked religion first, race, my age, and my gender, and I thought those are the top couple that were most important to me because they pretty much define who I am and how I go about my life living. And it was interesting to see other people's and how we related and how we differed from each other. And we had a conversation about we went through each one of these things and pretty much talked about how people stand. And in my dialogue there are many active voices. We were talking about different stuff. The first question is, were there active voices in dialogue, and we were very active, talking and relating and just telling stories about how each one of the different things you could be judged upon or looked down upon because you're different than other people, and how it plays along with the society and how society can view a person with differences in their circle, I guess. There weren't really reserved voices. We talked a lot, especially about social, the standings of class. We had people in there that were independent from their families, and it made me think about if I was independent, where would I stand, and it'd be really tough. And a couple people had 2 jobs that they were working, paying their way through college, and my parents helped me out with my tuition and stuff, so I'm very grateful for that. And we were trying to decipher if you're paying your own way to college, it was hard to see what your class is individually standing, if you're independent from your family, because I mean, we kind of viewed it as you're really young, and we don't really think much about our social class at this age. But there were a couple upperclassmen that really knew where they stood from economical standpoint. And from there we talked a lot. We talked a lot about class, and then we went into this game with Monopoly money, and it was pretty much if you had different stuff, if you had a dog or cat, then you had to pay, and it was kind of like life more than Monopoly actually. And you just had to different things would come up, situations would come, you had to give money, and it was kind of like a reality check, because once I get on the real world, it's I had to give money, shell out money for this, shell out money for that. If I get sick, insurance, does insurance cover you, and it's kind of stuff like that. And what role did I play in my group? I don't really talk that much. I'm kind of a shy person, but I was more like an observer and seeing how people relate to me and how we shared similar things. And it was just more a learning experience, because when you sit back and actually observe the conversation going around, it's you could relate more, and you could see from other people's standpoints. The most that I took away from this thing was you can't judge a person because of their differences, and you just have to keep an open mind. And I certainly kept an open mind through this student dialogue. And I also learned that I mean, when you first meet a stranger, it's just like you don't really know all about them and like where they stand. But doing this experience with the circle, you could see how people vary with their different options, and you could see how their life is somewhat different, and how other people can view it as different from yours. So that was my dialogue video blog, and I learned a lot from this experience, and I'm glad Clemson University offered it for me as a course to take, as a requirement to step out and see how other people vary from your own self. Thank you.